Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna, and it is day one of Contemporary-a-thon.
So it's Monday morning, and I'm actually in a hotel in middle of nowhere, Colorado today, and I don't have a tripod, so you're sitting up on towels here in the bathroom. But I figured we'd do a little get ready with me, and I'll talk about what I already have read because I kind of technically started yesterday, and then I got up ridiculously early this morning and read a little bit more. So yeah, we'll just do that. This is gonna be super casual. I'm gonna be doing my makeup. Yeah, it's funny because this is how Contemporary-a-thon started last time, back in February. Was with me in a hotel. So I think that one was Wyoming. So yeah. Anyway, so I technically started yesterday. So I had about a 3-hour drive from Colorado Springs to here, and I didn't want to start an audiobook and then get halfway through it and then have to put it down for a week. I didn't want to do that, so I figured I'm just gonna start early. So I started All of the Ugly and Wonderful Things, and oh my god, that book is so sad. It's weird when you actually start feeling like you're rooting for a relationship that's completely illegal and terrible and every other bad adjective that you could use, but you're rooting for it because he's the only good thing in her life. So anyways, this is hard to do. I don't know how these makeup YouTubers do this, trying to do makeup and talk at the same time. I don't know. I've never really done one get ready with me, and it wasn't really it was very highly edited, so anyways. So yeah, I have about 5.5 hours left, is what Audible says. So I'm a little over halfway through it, and yeah, it's so sad. I don't even know the words to even tell you. Anyways, yeah, so I am a little over halfway through that. I will definitely be able to finish it on my way back because I listen to books on 2 times speed, especially when the audio, when the narrator is kind of quiet, or not quiet, but slow. I can easily understand what the narrators are saying. I guess there's only one narrator. What the narrator is saying, but it's on 2 times speed, so I couldn't even imagine being frustrated with it if it was only on 1 time speed. So then this morning I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning for some reason. I just could not go back to sleep. My alarm was set for 7, and so I figured if I try to go back to sleep, it's just not gonna work, and I'll end up going to sleep 20 minutes before my alarm goes off, and that would just be really frustrating. So yeah, I didn't do that. So I just started reading. So the first book that I'm going to actually be physically reading for Contemporary-a-thon is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. So I watched the movie last week before I read the books, and because it's not that I just didn't want to read the books, I just never, they were never at the top priority. I had so many other books that I wanted to read. But then after I watched the movie, I was like, oh, I really want to read these books now. Because I really want to know what happens after that, but I want to finish the first one first. So yeah, so I am on page 77 of that already, which is over 20% of the book. So I'm doing pretty well for day one. I will finish the audiobook, that there's no doubt about that, today. When I get back into the Springs this afternoon, I have to take my car in to go get some stuff worked on. And I have to get a trailer hitch for it. So that's going to take like the technician, when they called me yesterday, said that it was going to take over 2 hours, and I'm just going to be sitting there. So the plan is to continue reading, and then when I get home, edit this video and put it out before the end of the day. That's the plan. So, challenges that are met. I actually have the ability to completely finish all 7 challenges with just 3 books, or 2 books and a graphic novel. I have 7 books, but after these, those 3 happen first, and then after that I can read whatever I want, which is great. So, All the Ugly and Wonderful Things is by Bren Greenwood. That's a new to you author. It's definitely a dark or taboo or spooky topic matter, and it has all of my initials on the cover. So that one completes 3 challenges. To All the Boys I've Loved Before it will complete 5 challenges. So it will complete a new to you author, because I haven't read anything by Jenny Han. It will complete a diverse contemporary, because it is she's Asian American. It will complete a non-traditional format, because I'm actually reading it on Scribd, so I'm actually reading it on my computer or on my phone, which is a little bit frustrating. And if anybody can tell me how to read, put them actually on my Kindle, it'd be fantastic. What else will it complete? Oh, it will complete my initials on the cover. Oh, and then it could possibly be a 5-star prediction. All the Ugly and Wonderful Things will definitely be a 5-star prediction. And then the third one that I can read, the only one it doesn't complete, the only one those 2 books don't complete, is Orange on the Cover. And so I'm reading Giant Days Volume 2, which is an orange cover. So, just with those 3 books, I have completed Contemporary-a-thon. And I fully expect that I could do that by tomorrow. So that'd be awesome. So anyways, that's my plan. So when I go and get my car worked on and I'm just going to sit there and read, I'd like to be able to finish a book, potentially. So if I can, I'll finish To All the Boys I've Loved Before. If I decide that I want a physical book to read while I'm sitting there, like if I don't want to read it on my phone, or something like that, I have also brought Nice Try Jane Sinner, which technically is my orange on the cover, and then will be my first physical book that I'm reading. So anyways, I'm going to go and finish getting ready for work. I have a couple of clients I have to meet with out here today, and then heading back, but I have a conference call in about 20 minutes, so I need to get ready for that and then start my day. So I will talk to you all later, and I'll update you when I have something new.
Hey everybody, so it's much later in the evening. It's like 8 o'clock at night, and I am back from my road trip. I haven't updated you pretty much all today, but kind of knew that was going to happen. So I figured I would update you guys on what I read. So I apologize if this lighting is terrible. I've told you before that if I film at night in my office, the lighting is just terrible because it's super yellow, and my ring light only does a little bit to alleviate that. So hopefully that, oh well, it is what it is. It's a vlog. It's not a professional video. So I'm gonna finish with the book that I finished, because there's some discussion we need to have about that. So the first thing that I started reading, physically reading, was To All the Boys I've Loved Before, by Jenny Han, and that meets the challenge for diverse contemporary, initials on the cover, non-traditional format, because I'm reading it on Scribd. What else? New to you author and a 5-star prediction. So lots of them. So I'm at on page 137 of that one. So like over 30% of the book done in one day. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe I can even finish that book tonight. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna have to edit. I need to edit this video and get it up. And then, so I finished the audiobook for All the Ugly and Wonderful Things, which I will talk about in a minute because I have some feelings. And so then I still had about an hour and a half of my drive left. So I started reading. I put up a poll on Twitter because I was debating on changing up my TBR for the diverse contemporary. So I put up the Twitter poll whether or not I should read a History is All You Left Me or When Katie Met Cassidy. They're both diverse contemporaries, both deal with LGBT. When Katie Met Cassidy is obviously a female-female romance. History is All You Left Me is a male-male romance, I think. Yeah, I mean, there is a relationship at some point. It's just a difference between being a YA or an adult. So I may still pick up When Katie Met Cassidy because I wasn't expecting to get through this quite as quickly. So we'll see, because I still have, a week left, and this was going to be my only other audiobook. So we'll have to see. All right, so All the Ugly and Wonderful Things. This book is one of those books that, I don't know how to review it, and I haven't written my review on Goodreads yet. I'm going to have to, process this, and I'd like to know what your guys' thoughts are. So if you've read this book, talk to me about it in the comments, because this is definitely a book that needs to be discussed. If you haven't read this book, there might be a few spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I'm going to try really hard not to spoil things, but if you do, while the book is up, I'm going to be talking about the book. So once you see it go down, you can turn it back on, I guess. So this book is about a young girl named Wavy. We meet her for the first time when she's 5, and it spans the, I think it's 16, 17 years that you see her life. So she starts out as a 5-year-old, and then we see her again as an 8-year-old a couple years later. And so her parents are meth dealers. They're in and out of prison. And if you can hear my dog, I apologize. But anyways, so there is nothing that's going for this girl. Nobody cares about her. Nobody's really interested in her well-being, making sure she goes to school, that kind of thing. Except for Kellen, who is an associate of her stepfather. And he makes sure she goes to school. He cares for her, makes sure she's getting fed, that kind of thing. And she kind of grows attached to him. And they kind of develop, it starts out as this friendship between a man and a girl, which is weird, but not super troubled, not wrong. But then it keeps growing into not being platonic anymore. And their relationship gets physical when she's 14, which is problematic. The problem I have with this book is that you're rooting for that relationship the entire time. When there's problems and there's, they get separated, you're wanting them to get back together. Even though, this is a very problematic relationship. But it's the only good thing that this girl has in her life. So I found myself, the entire time, wanting them to be together. Wanting them to get back together. Because I kept thinking, oh, this is just such a sweet romance. And it's a sweet, their love is true. And it's sweet, and this, he makes her happy, she makes him happy. I had to physically remind myself that she was a child. And I don't know how I feel about that. Because I could either, I give this book a 5 stars, because it's, if I'm looking at it from a critical standpoint, and just looking at the literary merits of it, it's beautiful. The writing is beautiful, and the author makes you feel things. And the audiobook, I think, was even just more powerful than even just reading it. Or do I give it a really low rating because of the moral problems with it? So can you rate a book high even though like you don't agree with the subject matter? That's the dilemma I have. So let me know in the comments below if you've read this book and like what your thought processes are. Because I think that critically you can rate a book high even if you don't agree with it. But like there's still that nut nagging in the back of my head. It's like, so you're going to rate a book 5 stars that like romanticizes child like, you know, pedophilia? So I don't know. Yeah, so let me know in the comments. Okay, that book is done. That was easily the darkest book that I'm going to read on this week's Contemporary-a-thon TBR. Most of my books are going to be pretty light and fluffy, which is good because I need it after that. I mean, I say that, and History Is All You Left Me it's not light and fluffy, but I don't think it's gonna be that dark. Hopefully the rest of the week will be a little bit more interesting. I knew that today was going to be pretty difficult because I spent the majority of my time in one client, visiting with one client for the majority of the like morning and mid-afternoon or early afternoon, and then I drove back home, and I didn't get home. I got back into the city at around 5. I had an appointment, which I read more stuff during that appointment. And then I like literally got home 30 minutes ago. So that being said, I'm going to go to bed because I'm going to get this edited. And then I'm going to go to bed because I woke up super early. And I don't want to do that again. And you probably don't want to see my face anymore. That being said, I am doing daily vlogs, or at least I'm attempting to. So day 1 is complete. Check off. And that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys are enjoying your Contemporary-a-thon if you're participating. And if not, I hope you guys just enjoy watching me read through some books. And today, I mean, reading wise, I feel accomplished in where I'm at. I mean, day 1, I have a book done. I'm over a third of the way through another one. And then I'm an hour into the audiobook of another one. I think I'm doing pretty good. So I will talk to you guys down in the comments below. I definitely want to have a conversation about this book. So if you've read it, I definitely want to talk to you. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. Have a good night.